Some people take revenge with words. Others dedicate their entire lives to it. Throughout history, revenge has started wars, destroyed kingdoms, and turned ordinary people into legends. From a king who allegedly crowned the corpse of his dead lover, to a student who spent 10 years hunting the man who murdered her father. These are some of the most insane revenge stories in history. And if you enjoy historical stories like these, make sure to subscribe. Revenge is one of the oldest human emotions. It can come from love, humiliation, betrayal, or grief. And sometimes it pushes people to do things so extreme, they sound more like scenes from a movie than real history. But every story in this video actually happened. In the early 20th century, China was collapsing into chaos. After the fall of the Qing dynasty, rival warlords carved the country into territories controlled by private armies. Violence and political instability spread everywhere during what became known as the warlord era. Amidst this chaos lived a young woman named Shi Jiangqiao. Her father, Shi Kongbin, had risen from humble beginnings to become a powerful military general. Thanks to his success, Shi's family enjoyed wealth and status, while much of China suffered through constant warfare. But everything changed in 1925. During a conflict between rival warlords, Shi's father was captured by the infamous warlord Sun Quanfang. Instead of quietly executing him, Sun ordered a public beheading at a train station. Shi Kongbin's severed head was then displayed on a bamboo pole for everyone to see. For Shi Jiangqiao, the humiliation was unbearable. She swore she would avenge her father, no matter how long it took. There was just one problem. Sun Quanfang was one of the most powerful men in China, while Shi was only a college student, but she dedicated her life to hunting him down, even changing her name to Zhen Qiao, meaning Sword of Revenge. Over the next 10 years, she chased rumors and traveled across China searching for her target. Meanwhile, the political situation changed dramatically. The warlord system collapsed, and Sun eventually lost his armies and power. In a strange twist, the former warlord abandoned military life and became a Buddhist. But Shi Jiangqiao had not forgotten. In 1935, after a decade of searching, she finally located Sun, living quietly in Tianjin. Instead of attacking immediately, she carefully studied his routine for months, waiting for the perfect moment. Then, on November 13th, 1935, she made her move. Sun was attending a Buddhist prayer gathering when Shi quietly walked behind him, pulled out a pistol, and fired 3 shots into his head and back. Sun Quanfang died instantly, but Shi did not run away. Instead, she calmly sat beside the body and handed out leaflets explaining why she had killed him. She wanted the world to know this was revenge for her father's murder and humiliation. Her arrest immediately became national news. Some people viewed Shi as a murderer. Others saw her as a hero, honoring her father according to traditional Chinese values. The debate became so massive that the case eventually reached China's Supreme Court. In the end, Shi Jiangqiao received a full pardon due to overwhelming public support. After finally avenging her father, she disappeared from public life and lived peacefully for the rest of her days. It's 1340, and Prince Peter of Portugal is waiting for the arrival of his future bride. The marriage had been arranged by his father, King Alfonso IV, to strengthen relations with neighboring Castile. Portugal was smaller and weaker than its powerful rival, so the alliance seemed like the perfect political move. Then the royal procession arrived, and the moment Peter saw one of the women stepping out of the carriage, he completely froze. According to legend, she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Peter instantly fell in love. There was just one problem. She wasn't his bride. Her name was Inés de Castro, a lady-in-waiting serving Peter's actual fiancée, Constanza Manuel. Peter still married Constanza, but the relationship quickly became miserable. Behind the scenes, he openly continued his affair with Inés, while rumors spread throughout the royal court. King Alfonso was furious. Not only was his son humiliating his wife, But Inez's powerful Castilian family was gaining influence around the prince. The king feared Peter's obsession could eventually drag Portugal into political chaos or even civil war, so Alfonso tried to separate them. He repeatedly banished Inez from court, hoping distance would end the relationship. Instead, Peter refused to let her go. Then, in 1349, Constanza died during childbirth. Peter believed he could finally marry Inez openly, but Alfonso absolutely refused to allow it. Ignoring his father's orders, Peter moved with Inez to Coimbra, where the couple lived together and had children. By this point, Alfonso had reached his breaking point. In 1355, while Peter was away, the king sent assassins to Coimbra. They found Inez inside a monastery and murdered her in front of her children. When Peter returned and discovered what had happened, he was devastated. But grief quickly turned into rage. The prince raised an army and rebelled against his own father, throwing Portugal into conflict. Although peace was eventually restored, Peter never forgave the king. And 2 years later, he finally got revenge. After Alfonso died, Peter became king of Portugal and ordered a hunt for the men responsible for Inez's murder. Years later, 2 of the assassins were captured and dragged before him. According to chroniclers, Peter ordered their hearts to be ripped out while they were still alive. But somehow, the story becomes even darker. Legend says Peter later declared that Inez had secretly been his lawful wife all along. He allegedly ordered her corpse to be dressed in royal clothing and placed upon the throne, while nobles were forced to kiss the hand of their dead queen. Whether that truly happened remains debated by historians. But the legend never died. It's 1701 in Edo Castle. A minor daimyo named Asano Naganori is assigned to help host visiting imperial envoys. He is instructed by the court official Kira Yoshinaka, who humiliates him in front of everyone, demanding bribes. Asano's temper snaps and he draws his dagger, slashing Kira's face. Kira survives, but violence inside the shogun's palace is forbidden. The shogun orders Asano to commit seppuku and confiscates his lands. Overnight, his loyal samurai become ronin, masterless warriors with no future. Among them is Oishi Kuranosuke, Asano's chief retainer. He and 46 comrades secretly swear to avenge their lord, but Kira expects retaliation and turns his residence into a fortress. If they attack too soon, they'll die. To lull Kira's spies, Oishi orders the ronin to scatter. He himself moves to Kyoto, gambles, drinks, and acts like a coward. Everyone laughs at him and the men, believing they have abandoned their honor. For 2 years, they hide in plain sight, gathering information and waiting for the right moment. Kira sleeps peacefully, convinced he has won. He has no idea what is coming. On a snowy night in January 1703, the conspirators strike. 47 ronin split into 2 assault teams, storm Kira's mansion, fight past his guards, and find Kira hiding in a secret storeroom. Oishi kneels and offers him the dagger Asano used. When Kira refuses, the ronin behead him, douse the lanterns to avoid a fire, and carry his head to Asano's grave. Their shocking revenge electrifies Japan. Some call them heroes. Others say they broke the law. The shogun rules that honor does not excuse murder and orders the 46 survivors to commit seppuku. They obey, dying with the same ritual dignity as their lord. Their graves at Sengaku-ji Temple still draw pilgrims. The 47 ronin got the justice they sought, but every one of them paid with his life. Throughout history, revenge has pushed people to do extraordinary things. Revenge has driven people to extraordinary extremes. Peter I turned grief into brutality after his lover's murder. Shi Jianqiao spent 10 years hunting her father's killer. And 47 ronin plotted for years to avenge their lord's forced suicide. These stories show how raw emotion can change history, but they also force us to ask whether revenge ever really ends the pain or simply creates more tragedy. What makes these stories so fascinating is that they are deeply human. They are stories about love, humiliation, obsession, and loss. Emotions powerful enough to change the course of history itself. But they also leave behind one important question. Does revenge truly bring peace, or does it simply create more tragedy?